Hello, I'm Angelina, and this is my model. The idea behind this is a lot of this empty space that you see around here is all windows. That's why there's columns here instead of actual walls, and that's to create a sort of open environment because it is a public space after all, and it would go like this up against the wall with the trees along the sidewalk. So that's the main concept, and as we go up, the quieter it goes. So if you can see the floor plan, I know the people in the back can't because it's kind of lower, but I can try to lift this up a bit.
I could lift it for you if you want to be able to
got
point.
this.
Okay.
So, can you guys see this? I was seeing this. You can see on the first floor that this is a very public space. The idea over here, like a cafe, like a Starbucks or something, and then over here is the front desk, administrator, and utilities. Because once you come in, you might not know what you're doing, so you're going to go to the front desk or get yourself a coffee. And on all of these sides, there's all the stairs and the elevators. This way you just keep on going up in one direction. The second floor is going to be where all the children are, because children are loud. And lobbies are also loud. So by having them close to each other, you're going to have a more quiet environment on the top. And on this second floor, we have this little section. It's like a wall, but there are circles pretty much cut into the wall so that kids can go inside, lay inside of them, and read inside of there, creating also more quieter space if they do want to focus on reading. And the play area for younger kids, if you don't want them tripping over something. Also for reference, these don't have bookshelves because I would have added them on later on for like furniture. But this is the adult section. Imagine there are bookshelves here. It's very simple. There's gonna be furniture facing outside so they can see the outside view. And then this is the final like fourth floor, which is meeting rooms and private studies. Since it is at the top, it's going to be the most quiet, which is the best for meetings and such. As you can see on the elevation, it's like a curve. So there's gonna be a wall, window, wall, window. What's other stuff about that?
Is there anything that inspired the shape?
The inspiration behind this are books on top of each other. So if you can, I'm just gonna use this one. I'm gonna use this one because everyone can see this one. If you cut off this part, it looks like a stretched book almost. So this is more of an adaptation on abstract book stacking. That is what's. Oh, if we had more time, I would have had a lot more the bookshelves itself because right now it looks kind of empty on the inside, mostly since I don't have windows covering it. So it looks almost like just like really empty overall as well. Questions?
I'll start with a comment rather than a question. No, and I noticed this even as we were taking a picture of your model. You have the shape is so simple but so beautiful. It like flows really nicely, and you can see that it has a presence in the neighborhood, like a monumental presence, even though the shape itself, like it's nothing too complex, but it's really beautiful. I would note your first floor plan, the exterior walls are not very defined. I can't see which walls are marking the exterior, although I can see it in your model, right? But that also made me think you have this entrance door in the first floor. That's the double door swing, but I could see that whole facade, that whole wall being an entrance to your library because it's just so inviting and so open. I could see that whole chunk of wall being like a huge entrance, free-flowing area.
Yeah, and how that works with the cafe, I think would be interesting too. Yeah.
Just in terms of like line weight and making the walls read, that fourth floor plan, the line weight in the center is what all of your walls should be. And before you put this in your portfolio, I'd recommend going back and darkening all the walls.
I'm also really interested in this like notion of what's open and what's closed because like you have these like spine areas that are dark. So the way that you've programmed it, like I can imagine like these bathrooms down here, it makes sense that they're on a dark wall, and then what's on the other side of that window wall. And that's something to consider when you start placing furniture in bookshelves, like what can be right up against a dark wall or what needs to be pushed away from a window wall, because we talked about like books and light and how it's pretty sensitive. Something else I noticed kind of in relation to that the front facade of your building mirrors the back facade, but the back facade is mostly dark because of the existing building. So I'm wondering, instead of that being like window all the way through, what are the conditions where the back does line up with these existing buildings? Like, what does that turn into? Maybe it's not the same wall material that this is. Maybe it's something else to keep that language going. But it would be weird to have a window right up against the building. So something to consider if you're going to go in and start making a couple of edits. But I mean, overall, very elegant design. It's something that I didn't notice until we actually put it in the site model.
Yeah, I love that it's so sculptural, and even though you don't have anything in there, it does show the sculpture, and a lot of times maybe the core elements might actually sit in the middle of it to keep that beautiful core elements. But also, like Brianna said, maybe because there's that building and that building, maybe some of the core elements end up being along those sides. Like, because I see right here that you have the stair right in the front right hand Jones Street side, but maybe that ends up being pushed somewhere else. But that's just like later on, like this is great. But also another thing on line weight is I see this going on, but in the drawings I want to see this side is dark and then this side is dark. On second floor, third floor, this side dark, fourth floor, that side dark. You know, because that's where the and then you can see actually that element of the rhythm comes out in your 2D drawings as well. But this is very beautiful.
Are we allowed to ask questions?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
absolutely.
I'm just wondering if there was any consideration, because there's a lot of windows, which way the building's oriented. I have no idea what on is it Jones Street, which way the sun shines through. But I'm just wondering if you considered that at all.
Pretty sure. I don't remember this as much as the day because I wasn't in charge of lighting. But I'm pretty sure the sun can go through from here and here. I'm pretty sure it goes like over that way.
Northeast is up.
Northeast is up, yeah.
So it goes along Great Jones, travels through this face of your building like that.
One thing you could do to shade the glass is you could pull your floor plate out to help shade. You know, pulling that out a little bit so that the columns and the glass are behind it a little bit, and then that would also provide a little bit of shade.
That would provide shade, and also because you would do it on all of the levels, it could create an outdoor balcony space or a terrace space too. So you would provide sunshade and an outdoor opportunity, which could be really interesting.
Yeah, and it goes well with the concept. Because books are never the same size anyway, so
Just have
you know?
a paper.
Exactly. Lovely.